Hi, my name is Gerhard Schwartner and welcome to Selling Power TV. Today we are going to continue our conversation with Ken Valler. He's the co-founder and president of the Valler Group. What do you see wrong with the sales training model that's so traditional and it's been the same for the last 30 years?
I think that there's a big opportunity there that we see at the Valler Group to help our customers in terms of maybe the financial models that they use to go out and procure and leverage, training providers like the Valler Group. Most of the companies I see out there are really service driven. What does that mean? What that means is they go and do it. Think about it this way: if I'm running sales training for a corporation and I want to go find a sales methodology, consultative selling skills, I go look at a bunch of different programs from different providers. And what do? They give me a pricing model. It says, okay, well, per person, they say pay by the drink, pay per person, and here's what you're going to pay for the program or the content. And then they layer on their services thereafter. Oh, well, there's this amount for customization. There's this amount for us to come and facilitate. Deal coaching, extra. So there's all these services, and content is taking a back seat. Now, there's two implications to that, and even to our customers. Number one, a lot of our competitors just aren't investing in updating their content. It's the same content they've had for years. Actually, what they're teaching sellers to do differently based on today's business-to-business sales environment doesn't look markedly different than what they were telling them to do 5 or 10 years ago. The second one, and even bigger, is this model around, well, how do they procure? How do they buy training? And what's that mean? Just like, selling software, they used to sell the box and you own the box, but you never got the upgrades or the updated versions. Same with content. What you train people on a consultative selling, what do they get? They get a participant guide. They get the traditional materials that you would provide them. And then that's it. So we're really flipping this model on its head, Gerhard, and saying, well, wait a second, let's lead first with modern day content that gets updated at least annually, if not, semi-annually. So it's better for our customers. But secondly, I would tell you the best training that I've ever seen, the best, and when I mean best, I mean measurable and adopted by the customer, was when the methodology and what was taught was literally driven by the customer organization themselves. It wasn't driven by a third party. And I think that's the huge miss that's been over the last several years. Historically, that's how this industry rolled. And I think moving forward, that's something that we're looking to change entirely with our customer base.
I know we are now living in a subscription economy. So what you're saying is, let's deliver sales training as a service.
We're calling it content as a service, from pipeline management all the way through advanced consultative selling, strategic selling. And we have this content, but now how do we enable our customers to leverage this within their organization? That's the model that we're really looking to change, making content available either on an ongoing subscription basis. So if I'm running a sales organization or I'm in sales training enablement, maybe I buy seats or licenses of content, and there's different pieces of content that are going to be used for different groups of our sellers. That's one way. The other way is just licensing it perpetually. When you don't do that, you go install a sales methodology into a customer organization, and let's say they have 1,000 sellers or 5,000, even worse. And you're 4 years deep on this license, and all of a sudden they don't want to renew. Well, now what? They have to go rip a lot of that content out of their CRM, out of their marketing materials, all their training materials. So if they've embedded it truly into the fabric of their business, they now have to go do a whole bunch of work because they're not extending. That'll never happen with us. We just license our content to customers, in that case, perpetually. They never have to do it. And we make money by bringing them newer, fresher content.
It sounds really interesting, Ken. Can you share a little bit about your content and what makes it unique and different?
So we're always looking at our content through the lens of what do salespeople need to be able to do today, either differently or more effectively, to be successful. We literally give them strategies. We give them frameworks to think about how do they think about those stakeholders and the different types of stakeholders. How do they engage with them in conversations through the buy-sell process, and how do they leverage the input from those people into their recommendation back to the customer.
Ken, I really like what I'm hearing. I think that you're on to something that is really big, the transformation of the sales training industry. has happened very gradually, and now it's happening suddenly. You're the tip of the spear in the business.
We think so, Gerhard. We think that this is going to fundamentally change, and what we're doing here is going to fundamentally change how this industry operates moving forward. There just should be different expectations from customers in terms of the types of providers that are selling into them with different content or services to support them. And it can't be always, so self-serving. It's got to be focused on what's best for the customer. And that's one of the big things that we're doing. What we're saying is, how do we enable your people to do their jobs better by providing them with best-in-class, modern-day content and tools that they can now take and bring to your sales organization.
And how can people learn more about the Valor Group, and how should they engage with you?
A couple of ways. Number one is just go to our website at www.thevalorgroup.com. They should follow us on LinkedIn. We're constantly publishing articles, blogs, different content to help people think differently and currently about selling today, or just give us a call. Frankly, we love to have conversations about sales effectiveness with anyone.